Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a Jamaican living in the Netherlands for the past 14 years. Please feel free to subscribe, share, and check out my links. My life in the Netherlands.
What am I going to talk about today? Today I'm going to talk about Corona in the Netherlands and the Dutch King. Okay, I believe it was sometime in January when we first heard about Corona. I personally heard about it through a friend of mine. She called and she said, "Are you watching the news?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And then she said, "You should." So I went, I checked it out, and I found out that there was a virus in China. No, I don't trust China, and I don't trust and believe everything I hear on the news. And so I decided to do some research to see exactly what was going on. And the first person I decided to believe was the president of Taiwan, because he and we both have the same views. We both don't trust certain countries. And so after listening to that person, I was like, okay, this is what's going on. And based on his story, he heard about the virus from the December before. So a month before the news broke, he already have access to that information. And he said he sent um, people into doctors to investigate the situation. So we heard about the virus, and I started taking it quite seriously once I heard it was in Germany. Now, the most crazy part about the virus is that 3 days after it was finally reported that the virus was in the Netherlands, they actually said they already found the virus in a sewage system 3 days earlier. So that story didn't make much sense to me. So I called a friend of mine who she's living in Florida for a while, and I was talking to her about it, about the virus, and I was explaining this doesn't make no sense. It was found in a sewage system way before the first person was tested positive. And also, I'm concerned about the fact that the Dutch government did not put the country on lockdown once they realized what was going on. And the reason why I was concerned about it is because at the time when the news broke, there were several Dutch people on vacation, was the vakantiegangers. They love to go on vacation, and they were all over Europe. They were in Spain, Italy, France, Germany, all over. So by the time the lockdown happened, they were already back into the country, and I think spreading the virus all over the place. So the first crazy thing that happened is that the food shelves, things started running out. Toilet paper, paracetamol, a lot of over-the-counter drugs. They were just flying off the shelves. There were so many shelves empty. A lot of persons, they just went wild and acting really crazy. At one point, one guy made a video of a storage place that he worked and show us there was no reason for us to be acting like that, or I wasn't acting like that. There was no reason for the people here to be acting like that because they had a whole storage place filled with toilet paper. So that went crazy for a while. And then the Dutch government decided that he's going to shut down the country on the 23rd of March. Now, when he shut down the country, that was a great idea, in my opinion. And the school that my daughter is attending, they approached the situation swiftly, in my opinion. Within 2 days, we had a package that was delivered by a teacher, and we have the instruction how we were going to do it. Um, some of the things were on papers, and we had two sites to go into. Now, I have a problem with one of the site. That is the site that is called Schooler. I actually paid for a whole year access to that site way before um, the virus. I have had access to the site for 2 years. Every year I pay for it for 2 years because I can use that site to teach my daughter English and also Dutch. So when the virus broke out and it was time for us to use the site, the school, and also for me to use that site independently, we could not use the site. It was overloaded, and for days, I believe even weeks, we could not get access to it. We could not access it through the school system and also through the private system, which I paid for. So I paid for a site that I could not get access to. And I called 3 times and I said, listen, I've been paying for this site before the virus. So I'm paying for something that I can't use. And I was told they're working on the problem. And I said, well, we know for a while now that this could be a possibility. Everything was going to shut down and people were going to run towards these sites to teach their kids. You guys should have made better preparation. You should have realized that this was going to happen. I figured out it was going to happen because one of the first thing I called a friend of mine and said is that, well, we have access to a schooling system because we pay for it. So if it takes long to get these things figured out, we will be okay. That's myself and my friend Paula. So I thought we were covered. No, we weren't. And I've got a few letters saying we're sorry. We're sorry that you're not able to use the site. However, we should have got back some of the money we paid because we have to pay for a year. It wasn't monthly for a year. So I think we should have, that money should be split into months and we should get back 1 month money because it took weeks to finally get access to the site. It reached to a point where I have to teach my daughter in the weekends. So she was busy all week, 7 days a week, because I couldn't get access to the site from Monday to Friday. So I have to do it in the weekend when less people were on it. So I'm not happy about that, but I'm happy about the way the school approached the system, the whole situation. And I was also studying at the time. I'm finished. And my school approached it very well too. So that went very well. The college dealt good with it. So we had the lockdown and it becomes a challenge for many people. Now, for me, it wasn't because I really enjoy being in my home and doing my own thing. Um, I like to travel, but to different countries. Being out in the Netherlands is not really a big thing of mine. I think this channel is what going to bring me out more into the country. So this is going to be an eye-opener for me doing this channel. So that passed and the country opened back up. We're still dealing with the virus. And then on the 19th of December, we went into lockdown again. Okay, so we are still in lockdown. We are now in January, and I just found out there is a possibility that the lockdown is going to continue into February. Now, the crazy thing that happened in the lockdown is that we don't have a queen anymore. So the queen's son is the king. And I am not a fan of this king. For many reasons. And one of those reasons is what he did in the middle of the crisis. In the middle of the crisis, when we were all told to stay home and stay put and focus because the virus is all over Europe, killing people. At this moment, we have almost 12,000 people that are dead in the Netherlands. And they said it could be more. They are not sure because we didn't have enough tests at the time to see who died from the virus and who didn't. So this king of the Netherlands decided that he's gonna take the parliament plane and goes to Greece with his lovely wife and kids for a fantastic vacation. during the country disaster. That is what he decided to do. He was going to go on a lovely vacation. And so when everyone realized that he's out of the country, enjoying himself, there was an uproar for him to return. Get on a plane and return. How dare you left in such a situation? But I guess this is a hobby of him to do crazy stuff. It is really a hobby. I mean, who does that? No one is allowed to go anywhere, and he took the parliament plane and left. And it looks as if the parliament members all sat on a table and they just gave him the permission. Go and enjoy yourself. I'm quite upset about it. I'm quite upset about it. And I don't know if I should get upset at the wife or not. I don't know what role she played in it. Did she instigate this thing? Or didn't she? Is she just an innocent bystander because she has to do what you want? But that's a challenging thing. It's very challenging for me to think what role is she really playing in all of this, because this is not the first time that he has decided to do something this crazy. I believe when he was a prince, in the middle of the financial crisis, when the government was cutting budgets for the elderly people, for the handicapped, for the kids, the budget was just cutting left and right. He also decided that he needed a new vacation home in another country. Once again, he just went off and decided this is what he needed and he's going to go about it. Well, that's taxpayer money. You can't just decide that you need a new vacation home in the middle of a financial crisis when other people are struggling to survive. You need a vacation home. No, you don't need a vacation home. You have a large palace, a very large palace, palaces. I believe you guys have more than one. So what you need to do is to go on vacation on the wing you never been on, because I'm sure there is a right wing and a left wing. Now, if you live on the right wing, you need to pack your stuff up and move to the left for your vacation. And if you're on the left, you need to pack your stuff up and move to the right for a vacation. You don't need to have another vacation house. So I don't know what's wrong with this guy and why he's doing these things. Because I was talking to a friend about it and I was like, well, if they want to do something exciting and fun, I'm not a genius. I'm more like Pinky and the Brain, but I have a great idea. The wife is Spanish. Beautiful woman. Go purchase a stripper pole. Plant the pole in the middle of your bedroom and go swing on it for your husband and make a whole new fantastic vacation. That's how you vacation in a big palace where you have room for rent, supply within, so many empty rooms. Why not do something like that? I mean, no one is allowed to come out and talk. No one is allowed to video it, take pictures. There is so much stuff you can do in that palace. You know, put on a lingerie and walk through the entire palace in the lingerie and act as if you're on vacation. But you need to find something to do, you and your husband, and to come up with these stupid things. I need a new vacation house. I'm going to take the parliament plane and I'm going to go off to Greece in the middle of a pandemic. Now the wife. The reason why I don't think she's very innocent in any of this is because of her father. Yes, her father wasn't allowed to attend their wedding in 2002 because he's a former member of the government in Argentina years ago. And based on the investigation is that he knew about thousands of people that were kidnapped and killed. So he's responsible for war crime one way or another. The investigation said there is no way he could be so high up in power and not know what happened. So you have to ask. You have to ask. That's a question you have to ask. being from such, it's a straight up gangster background. um I'm not saying that if you're from an awful environment that you are going to automatically be awful, but if you look at the things that the king has done when he was a prince and now he's a king, I mean, you need a straight up gangster attitude to do something like that, and you can pull something like that off with a wife like her from that background. It makes all sense in the world. It made just all the sense in the world. There is no way it doesn't make any sense. You cannot see the countries in financial disaster. People are struggling all over Europe. The countries are getting together trying to figure out how to solve the financial problem that the European countries are facing and going down and struggling with. And then you decided that you want a new vacation home. I don't see how he made that decision all on his own without his wife. Because if I was his wife, and with the background that she has, I would have to stop him. She could easily stop him. She could look at him when he walked in the room and said, "Honey, you know what? I was thinking we need a new vacation home." I would look at him and say, "Asshole, have a seat. We need to talk. We're not asking for any vacation home in the middle of a crisis. There are elderly people, handicapped people, and kids struggling. Now sit your ass down. I'm going to get your ass a stripper pole. We're going to work that pole together. That's how we're going to vacation up in this house." Now, in the middle of a pandemic, people are dying all over the world. And he showed up again with another stupid idea. "Honey, let's go to Greece. It's easy to control again." You inform him that, listen, we're going to put on our track clothes and shoes and we're going to run around this palace butt naked. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to vacation up in this palace. We're not leaving because people are dying. There are rules and regulation. No one can leave the country. Why should we? So I really don't get how he's doing all these things on his own. So I think either the wife is making all these decisions and he's going along with it because he loves her, or he's making the decision and the wife is gangstering going with him with this stupid decision. Because I can guarantee you, before this year is finished, he's going to make another decision that doesn't make sense. And I really do not believe that he's making all these decisions on his own. She's agreeing with it, or she's coming up with it, or something, but they're working on this thing together. And if you ask me, they're two Looney Tunes coming up with these stupid things, ear in, ear out, and someone should stop them. You know what? I don't believe in this type of royalty anyway. I don't believe in it because it's taxpayers' money, and people are always talking about, well, they're doing so much for the country. I don't see what you're doing. I really don't see. So you go to a few places and you plant a few trees and you wave your hands a few times, and that's the charity you're doing, and that's what you're getting donation for. Well, you know what? All the money that is supplying for the palaces and for the maintaining of the palace and the expensive planes and expensive trains when you get on international trains, and all the security guard, all those money that taxpayers are using to maintain your life, or all of you, the lives of you guys, then that money could be used to donate and help. That's a lot of money. So if you would just dethrone all these people and use those money, it could help. It's the same amount of money, if not more, it is costing to maintain this type of ridiculousness. So no, I don't believe in it. All the crowns should go. Have enough of it. And the stupid thing that they're doing right in the faces of other people. My neighbor, her daughter has Down syndrome. Okay? She was born like that. She had to have an heart operation. She have so much things. I knew that girl for 6 years before they moved, and she was writing the same thing for 6 years. Every day she was just sitting down writing the name of our street. And the budget on her was cut. Now, how dare you walk up to the public and said, I need a vacation house when the budget was cut on a 27-year-old that was writing the name of the street for 6 years. That's the only thing she was doing for 6 long years. Every day when I go visit. Why was I visiting her so often? Because we have almostly the same birthday, and I used to take her to the zoo or take her out for dinner whenever it's her birthday because it's close. So I have personal experience with these things. I have worked with kids that are challenged and things like that. And how dare you decided you need a vacation house when the budget cut on the elderly people, the disabled people, and kids. And now you decided to take a plane and go to Greece. Now something is wrong. I think they should have been locked up. They should have been locked up. Seriously, locked up in jail. We don't want an apology for what you did. Okay, you were in Greece for 3 days before you returned. Well, I'm gonna lock your house up in a maximum security prison for 3 days. You need to feel what it's like to be on the other end of the stick and stop doing stupid stuff. It's really stupid that they would just get on a plane and leave in the middle of a crisis. We're going to go on vacation. Vacation my ass. I had enough of these people. Okay. Bye, guys.